Hello everyone, so in today's episode I would like to share my thoughts and experience with the S.M.O JFlowers carbon fiber shaft and compare it also with my standard carbon fiber shaft from the JFlowers. When you receive it, you will have also this amazing cue case together with it, which adds to the exclusiveness of the shaft itself. The shaft costs for a total of $399. If you purchase it together with the cue itself, it's going to be much cheaper price at only $219. For overall the price, I'd say it's really recommended to consider purchasing it together with the cue itself rather than upgrading later, but it is always up to the customer themselves. The joint protector from the S.M.O shaft is going to be pretty much the same as the one we get with the standard shaft, but the biggest difference is mainly going to be only just the 3 letters of the S.M.O being on it. And for the most obvious visual differences between the S.M.O and standard shafts are going to be these features of S.M.O having the rings at the bottom of the shaft, as you can see here, and also at the top near the ferrule you also have this sort of almost transparent looking ring. And for the S.M.O shaft I also chose to keep the default one, which is the Taom fusion tip. In terms of the tips, the classic standard shaft runs the Murray medium tip that I've used for nearly a year now. I also chose to check the total weight of the shafts, and what I found out is that my standard shaft is at 100 grams, while the S.M.O shaft is slightly heavier at 104 grams, which kind of makes sense because the technology and material being used in the S.M.O is more by default than it is for the standard one. And with that in mind, to consider that S.M.O should have more material within it, there should be also a difference between both shafts when it comes to a sound. So I chose to check what the difference might be if you hit the cue ball with the shaft itself and of course with a regular hit with the tip. Conclusion here from the sound that was just presented, the standard shaft does feel more hollow, you can say, rather than being more filled with some material, while S.M.O does feel like there is more to it, which also adds to the premium feel for the shots themselves, and that also gives kind of an idea that the shaft is better also for the deflection rather than it being higher deflection because of it being hollow. While testing the deflection that I personally felt between both shafts, I came to this conclusion that the difference between those shafts is really not that huge when it comes to the deflection itself, but rather the feel of the shot. S.M.O shaft does feel like it's more full in terms of the material, that feels there's more inside of it rather than the standard one, which kind of gives this maybe illusion that it is lower deflection, which it probably is, but to me personally, after playing for nearly 1 year with the standard shaft and maybe slightly more than a month now with the S.M.O, I have readjusted my aiming just enough where I don't feel the difference between both shafts, where it could say that definitely that S.M.O is way lower deflection rather than the standard has. But to me personally, I really do believe that both of them have really great deflection levels. It really comes down to the feeling of the shot rather than thinking of how slight of a millimeter difference there could be between the deflections of the shafts themselves. Thank you for watching my video on the S.M.O JFlowers carbon fiber shaft, and I hope it was insightful enough for everyone who is thinking about investing into more premium quality shafts, or for those who are deciding whether or not the standard shaft is going to be enough for them. So thank you for watching everyone, and goodbye.